So team, welcome back. Day 8 for our training. Today we're going to do a very quick recap for some of the core Java concepts. Maybe this will take either 2 or 3 sessions overall, but we should be able to go through overall coding and be able to understand a lot into the various programming aspects. We will also go into OOPs and other concepts. So how all of this work, we want to be able to look at a quick recap on Java. And then we will be able to take these and implement for building automation frameworks. That's gonna be our core focus. And there, if you have any questions, team, please can you keep those to the end of the session? I'll come to each of you. Either technical issues or any updates that you want to show, or even the assignments from the previous session. All right, great. So team, now what I'm going to do is we already have our Eclipse. Where is the Eclipse? I think I closed it. Let's relaunch it. I think we were using 2002-06. I'm going to stay in the same workspace, but I believe there is this training from Java. I'm there in that folder called My Code, in which I have two of these projects, Java projects. Project 1 has a source library with a great collection of different programs. And we'll kind of go through each one and understand what it does, how it has come to be. The only thing I'm doing right now is we are saving time by reusing code, but please write code when practicing. And team, when I give these advices, they're strong advices because when you miss these steps, you go forward, you will face more challenges, team. At that time, you will think, oh, you know what, I should have learned Java better. So you don't need to go multiple times. Just make sure you write the code, whatever we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do is do an import and a Java project into Eclipse. So what import does is, if you already have a project, it could be a simple Java application, simple program, it could be an automation framework. How do we get it going with Eclipse? So let's launch with our workspace. That's where we created. And this is in a different folder structure altogether. I believe we can either copy that project or use it from there itself. So if I make any changes there, it will reflect here. Okay. So this is what we did in the previous session, everyone. Very simple. We created one project called demo. In this, I wrote only couple of code items. Java program 1 that prints 2 lines, and Java program 2 that primarily adds 2 numbers and prints the value. Then in demo underscore SE, or for Selenium, you'll see that the primary difference is there is also a referenced library, because like I said, Java is a widely used universal language. Every usage of Java could require different sets of jar files that helps us to connect and talk to other uh, tools and applications. So they're all done through this jar libraries. Um, so that's the one which we added primarily for Selenium in this case. And in our source code, all we said is now let's import Selenium WebDriver, and in fact, we also have Chrome driver. And this was done in the previous session, team. And I wanted you all to be able to complete the same as well. And then in my main method, we went about doing a bunch of steps, primarily starting with setting my variables, base URL, the path to where my Chrome driver.exe is present, which we downloaded and stored there, setting a property at a system level where it says that the WebDriver Chrome driver, if it needs to reference, is available in this variable path, which we declared here. Once that is done, I can create a new empty WebDriver. This is an object instance. Into that, we're creating a Chrome driver. So that is the child of it. You could also do a Firefox driver, Edge driver, and various other drivers into a team. Let's practice with simple, then we can go further. And then we used a few commands. My driver now refers to the browser that has been opened at this line called Chrome driver. And we said a command called navigate to the base URL. Sleep for a couple of seconds, print the title, close the browser, and end of the test. That was our program. So right click and run as Java application. These are not TestNG or JUnit yet. Simple Java, which can do Selenium. Where do JUnit and TestNG come? We will come to it after we finish Core Java. So it primarily captured the title and it printed it out. So now if I change this URL to any other URL, it should be able to replicate the same. So I have the old one, and here, let's say I go to anyhot.com. And with one change, it primarily is doing the exact same thing. And I'm able to switch to a different application and run this for a totally different app. Okay, there we go. So that's a different title altogether. Now that's what we did in the previous session, team. Now, for us to continue forward, it'll be nice for us to get a good refresher on core Java concepts. Then we will be able to go deeper. So what we will do here, team, instead of me writing individually each of these programs or manually copy pasting, I'll try and import this. So go to File. Instead of saying New and Java project and so on, scroll down to Import everyone. You don't have to do it right away because you don't have anything to import. As I keep doing and as I share the code to you, you can import it. And here it says that there are different types of projects or things you can import. So let's go to General, and you have a file system or existing projects into Workspace. Let's click on that and say Next. Now I have to select that specific directory. So what I will do is, here I know where it is. Let me go to my code, metadata, it is here. So somewhere here. So let's put that here, actually browse. So there are two projects in this team. It's saying I found two projects, project 1 and project 2, hyphen to delete. See, did you see that? I don't want the second one. It was just some trial one. We're just going to stick with the first. So uncheck the second. And I can say copy projects into Workspace. This should basically be able to copy it into my Workspace. That's fine. Let me see what happens. Say finish. And click on this. And you'll see there are already referenced libraries, not Selenium in this case. It's a log4j and Apache POI jar. And because this is all focused primarily only on core Java. And there seems to be some issues in the source code. So if I expand, I can see all these programs, but maybe some of the programs have errors in it. See, like J42 abstraction and so on. But other than that, I should ideally be able to get started with the flow of this team. So for example, the way I named it is J01 is Java first program and so on. The ones without anything like bank accounts or bank org users, cars.java, all of these are classes that I created externally. When we get to oops, we will understand. So there are about 54 Java programs that we will go through and about a dozen different classes. That should give us a good solid footprint. So here we go. First program. Are we all set, team, everyone? You should be very, very comfortable going forward with Eclipse, all of us. Please make sure you practice a lot, and that's what it can do. Yes, Sujata, you have your hand raised. What's your question,
Yes,
please?
Karthik, I would like you to see my script from day before yesterday's work. Kindly, whenever you
Sujata,
have
I
a few minutes.
mentioned it. I saw your chat message. I also mentioned at the beginning that I'll come to your technical questions and issues towards the end.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I
No
had some.
problem.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So let me go through this flow. Then any previous questions, I can come to it later, team. Team, let me grab a quick, um, give me a minute's break, please. All right. So team, let's get going. There is a lot to talk about in Java, but once we go in a very structured, simple way, I think it should be fine. And second, I will also refer you to W3 schools and a few other things that I think will come handy for you as you keep going through it. So team, the first program, let's take a quick look and what it means. So I'm not writing the whole thing, but ideally, you will notice that any Java program should have something called as a main method. That is the starting point. The first line in the main method is the one that will get executed first, and it will go all through till the end of it. Now, how does Java know that the main method starts on line 3 and ends on line 11? It uses a concept of blocks. And these blocks are represented by curl braces. Where are my curl braces here? Oops, sorry. So anything that starts with a curl bracket and ends with a curl bracket is called as a block of code. It belongs to the class or method. What are classes and methods? I'll come to you, team. So every time that we save this main method, it has to belong to a class. So ideally, if you see, there is a curl bracket on line 11. Now, the corresponding ending curl bracket for the block called J01 first program is on line 13. So from here all the way to here is the entire Java class. Within that right now, we just have one thing called this main method. I'm just using this plus minus sign to minimize code. As we go through longer code, it'll be easy for us to look at. So where does my main method start? Line 2 and ends on line 12. I take my cursor here. Do you see that highlight of line 2? I take my cursor here. Do you see the highlight of line 13? That is important. Now, this other important thing is Java statements ends with a semicolon. So anytime you will see at the end that there's a semicolon in this. Now, what happens colon is Java is getting to know that after that, there's nothing else for the statement. A new statement starts. It does not have to be that we have to write it into a new line. Yes, I'll tell you the shortcut key. So now, for example, I want to write this system.out.println. There are a few shortcuts we'll use, team. This easiest one is we'll write SYSO and do a control space. Keep your control pressed and then hit space. And then here I'll write continued statement. It is absolutely okay if I print it here. So let us see when we execute this program what comes out in the console. This console, which is inbuilt to Eclipse IDE team, really makes us our job easy. We can write a code, run it here and do everything here. Otherwise, we can do the same through the command prompt. Okay, so now I'll just run this code. You can right click even here and say run as Java app. See what it says is, whenever you get such warning messages, team, take a look at it. Don't have to get alarmed, but definitely take a look at it. It says that errors in workspace. So please remember that the way we structured, the whole thing is a workspace for us. Under that, I can have different projects. Project 1, project 2, project N. Now it says project 1 is the one, is error exists in required projects. See? So this project has an error. Are you sure you still want to proceed and execute? Is the question. The reason this is coming is somewhere in the code I showed you earlier. There are few issues. You'll know it by looking at the red cross. See, this is an orange sign or yellow. It's just a warning. But if I scroll down further here, abstraction, you see a red mark. Primarily, there is a syntax error out here. It doesn't identify where this class called vehicles is present, and we'll have to work on that. But right now, to run this first program, it does not have to interfere with an issue that is there somewhere else because they're not interacting with each other. So it should be okay. So I'm going to run it either way. So run as Java application, always launch without asking and proceed. So it is my duty to make sure that it works. So now I have 3 lines printed. Why didn't line 6 get printed? Is a comment. Java does nothing on it. Moves on. Only for humans. So it is not an instruction that we're giving Java. Or, oops, or you don't want a code, what do I mean? To get executed. So you could write English or Java or any junk, doesn't matter. Once you put 2 semicolons, 2 forward slashes, it becomes a comment. So though it is a print statement, it can recognize what it means in Java, it won't execute this. So that's why it got 3 statements. Sys-O, control space, SYSO, and then control space. Just another line. Now, I am going to put this out here, team. Earlier, the 3 lines came out. I'm sure 4 lines will get printed, but will it be in 3 lines or will it be in 4 lines here? What do you think? Because line 3, line 4, line 12. Will it put line 4 as continued statement, just another line, and then go to the next one? How many will we see below, team? Guys, a little interactive, please. If you're not sure, think for an answer. I only got 5, 6 responses. Why? How many lines? So we're saying 4 lines. Let's see. But I see 3 lines here. So save this and execute it. That's correct. So though I can write the second statement also in the same line because the semicolon, It's called a print ln, which is printing onto a new line. So once that is done, it'll go to a new line. So if I do here SYSO and print nothing in this, and SYSO and print nothing in this, now it'll print 4 plus 2 more, 6 lines. So being aware as to what my does before it actually executes is very critical for any developer. All right, let's go to the second program now. I think I've not done anything much in the second program. It doesn't look like I did anything else here. Let's move on to the third one. What are variables, team? Why are they important for us? So end of it, any business requires to track information and data. It could be related to customers, items, sales, health reports, financials. Anything is always about info and data, team. So programming language should be able to store information and reuse that. So instead of trying to uh, go through I'm sorry, what was I saying? What basically we mean to say is, think of it even like a cell phone or so on. What you do is you save contacts there. You put a name to that person and you put a number to that person. You don't always have to remember the number. What is the number for a specific human being? You just need to know the name and you're able to get the phone number out of it. The importance here is that you're able to store the information, and tomorrow if it changes, you can change it here. You don't have to change the name. The name is still, Adam, but the number could be changing to something else. So you are able to reuse it, change it, or fetch it when needed. So performance of a program and a set of programs becomes an application depends on the right memory usage. So let us say to store one number in a phone takes 10 MB. Just example, one contact equals 10 MB. Now, if you have 100 or 1000 contacts, you basically going to 10 GB of data just to store contacts. That no. So solution is one contact equals 25 kilobytes. Now it makes sense. So the storage has to be also optimally used. That is why Java is very specific as to the data type. It has to know if it's a number, is it with integers, or does it have any decimals, or is it just alphanumeric text, and so on. So these are the variable types or data types, team, in Java. So I have to store the information, right? So for example, look at how I'm doing it here. Okay, declare a variable, type of the variable, memory is set. So now when I say string KK phone, string is one of the easiest or most commonly used variable, team. You can put anything into it. It is primarily anything that is surrounded by two double quotes is a string. It can be 1, 2, 3. It can be A, B, C, whatever. It can be alphanumeric. You can put whatever you want into it. That is also possible. So you have the ability to store them into a string. So it is a literal number or information as is team. Now, what happens is when you're working with variables, there are three stages to a team. The first is declare the type of the variable, and then you go and put some value into it, and then you use the variable. Okay. Now, if I try and write the same one, I'll just say Control C, Control V, J03 underscore variables 2. And here, let's do a simple one without too many comments. Where is it? Okay. I'm going to delete everything. Keep a very lean code. And here I'll say string x. X equals QWE 1, 2, 3. Okay. Like a flight number or anything, it could be T. Now I can say print and print X. If I say print and put this, what will happen? So there's a specific difference in line 8 and line 10 team. Let me put this here. Sorry. All right. Now look at how many lines will get outputted here. Can you tell me, please? How many lines will get into the console? Let's be fast in the answers, everyone. Now let's quickly improve speed. 2 lines. Very good. Thank you so much. Perfect. In the output, it will be 2 lines, team. So if I quickly run it, what will come out? There is a difference between line 8 and line 11. Okay. When I say X, it tries to search for something with the name X in the program and then print whatever is inside it. If I put double quotes X, what will come, team? Once you put anything inside double quote, it will automatically go for it as is. It will not go and search for, oh, is it a variable or an object and so on. It will go and print that value. That is something you have to remember, to call the variable by using its name. Now, these 3 steps are very important. Let's run this and make sure we get that. So I got the value of X and X itself. Why are these 3 steps important? Declare, initialize, and use. Let us say I won't use it. I will not use it. So I will comment this. Now what happened? Did you see a small yellow thing coming up here and a yellow line under X? This is not an error. So the difference between a syntax error and a warning is that syntax error will not let you run the program. A warning is you can still execute the program, but there is some advice given to you, and that's a warning. So one of the things you could do consistently on Eclipse team would be to take your mouse over. For example, line 4, take your mouse over it, and it'll show you a small yellow tooltip. Where is it? I'm in a different window. Okay, here. Tooltip to say what it is. The value of the local variable X is not used. So primarily it is saying, you know what, you're not using X. And that does not matter. You can still run the remaining portion of the code. But it's a warning that, hey, why are you wasting memory? If you know that you don't want to use, then what's the point? Now let's try and comment line 6. Now there is a bigger problem. it is not a warning. It's a red mark. And if I take my mouse over it, let's see what it tells me. Either on line 8 here, it says the local variable x may not have been initialized. Let me take it here, and it says initialize variable. So that gives me solutions team. Sometimes we can click on the solutions. Most of the times we will do it ourselves. Now, what does it mean? If you want me to print the value of x, there should be something inside it. If there's nothing inside it, I cannot print. So first put some default values. That default value must be there. You can change it later, and I can say x equals y now, and if I print, no more usage of this. Let's see what happens. Will it run team? I'm able to execute this code. It says exception in thread main, so and so on line 8. You have a syntax error. With that, you basically gonna throw an error when trying to compile this. So what you need to do is make sure there is a value into it. Now, how about the declaration itself? What if I comment this? Now there is a bigger problem for it. It does not know what is X to put value into it. It does not know how to use it. It cannot change it. Okay. Here we are modifying the value. Now, hence it becomes very critical that you declare and you initialize and you can use it, change it, and do whatever you want. And then it should be running fine for you. Now, what will happen if I say x equals to hello? Now, why is there an issue on line 14, 13 team? Error I don't want to print. So, and I'm gonna print x. What happened here? Why would you think there is an issue on line 13 now? So for us, it is very important team to interact a lot with Eclipse to be able to tell it that, oh, you know what, I know why, I can find the solution and be able to fix it. In this case, the main difference, like most of you noticed, and you should all, because especially if you're into IT and QA, you need to have a very deep insight at this pixel level team. This is uppercase and we declare it as lowercase. So primarily keep this in mind. Java is highly case sensitive. So for it, hello is different from hello. So these are two different things for it. You have to be precise with it. So now the only alternate is I can say another string X, and that is fine. Now this will work. But then this X and this X are totally different. So your naming convention becomes important. Okay. Now back to the variables. So variables store memory, store information for us, and it's very important to declare the right type of variable and initialize. Now what's the J04? So this is string X. Let's try and read the code and understand what it is doing, team. Main method start and there's an end. String X, X equals to hello, how do you do? And now look at what I did here, team. When I use string against two, plus against two strings or a string and a number, Java treats the plus as a appender or something to join things together. So it's going to merge them, combine them, append to each other, concatenate. them together. Now that is what this plus sign is doing. So here, when you look at anything, break your code down into few pieces that is easily understandable for you in the mind. Start with this first, system.out.println, you know what it does. So leave that out of your focus of your eyes. Focus on what is there inside this curl brackets. This normal regular brackets. These parentheses that we have is basically where we give information team, where we give something called as arguments or data. So this becomes very important when we get to methods. But right now, let's focus inside this parenthesis. It has two parts and there's a plus in between. The left part is XC space, a hard coded string where the value is set directly without using a variable. So we didn't use a variable. Now, the advantages of variables are many, team, especially where did not put here. And okay, use the variable multiple times across. So changes reflect everywhere. So if I change a variable, that variable value will keep reflecting everywhere from there on. Are you all with me so far, team? Okay, good, thank you. Now, let's look at what this program is trying to do. Let's read, understand, digest, and please write it yourself. So we are declaring, initializing, and using string y equals to big sentence and error fixed, blah, blah, blah. Y is plus y. So sometimes it may not be a syntax error. Like, for example, if I had it y is x here, it is more of a defect or a bug in your program. It is a programming error. You wanted to say the value of y is, but you accidentally wrote it as x. And if you did not rightly check your own code, test your own code, that bug will go without a notice because it will not fail the program. It will run the program. So you need to keep your eyes and very open, team. Not everything that Java is there to find defects for you. So we need to be able to find them. All right, next I think we went into integers. So what are integers, team? Primarily any numbers that are positive or negative without any decimals. So you talk about 10, 20, -1, -1000, and so on. All of these are integers. So if I say this is string, and that is fine. So this is printing S1 as is, and this printing the value inside the variable called S1. Here, I've declared a variable and initialized it in the same line. Absolutely fine. See, int I equals to 1, sorry, int I1 equals 100. So in system.out.println value of I1, that's what will come. Now look at here, I've declared two variables in the same line. I'm just separating them by x comma y. So I can declare multiple variables at the same time, team. It helps me to save space and to keep things organized. Now I've put values into x and y. Now I have another variable declared called z, similar to what we were trying out in the demo project. Z equals to x plus y. And here is where this plus is an actual mathematical plus sign. It will add those numbers together. But if I use the same plus to two strings, what will it do? It will join them, append them, or concatenate them. And then we have a subtraction, we have a division, and of course we can have a multiplication also. But if you don't have the right values, then it'll be a problem. So now see, 10 by 0 will have an issues. let's try and run this. It'll be interesting to see this. Now, where am I saving this code? I want to see where this code is. Right click, show in System Explorer. Oh, nice. It came to my R folder team. So I'm able to make changes and it'll stick with it. That's good. Now, shall we execute this code, team? Most important, any syntax error? No, I don't see any syntax error. No red signs, no red signs here, looks clean. So the code will have no issues executing. So let's run this code. Right click and say run as Java application. And now I've got an issue, team. And there is a problem. So, oops. I spoke about this yesterday also, but primarily again, syntax error, wrote the code in a wrong way. Java cannot understand and run. Needs to be fixed. Runtime error can be caused due to various reasons when the program is running. It could be a coder fault, it could be data fault, it could be some environment related fault, and it could be application or anything, team, that could have gone wrong in an API fault, but it still will throw an error. And we have to master the art of debugging, which is to remove defects from our own code, team. And I'm writing so much of this content as I keep explaining. The reason I do that is it has to register for you correctly in the mind as well. And for me, it comes very clearly. I don't have to really prepare for this each time because the regular flow of things, activities. Now, let's focus on this error. Is this a syntax error? No, it is a runtime error. Happens when during execution. I printed S1 KK 100 Z is 10 Z is 10. It printed, and then that's it. Z is it's printed twice, and then it threw an error. What is important for us is where did the error occur? We should know the line number. That's the source point. Okay. Now, in the error itself, typically it will show you with a blue underlined link, clickable link, with the class name, which is j05 underscore variables underscore int dot java. Colon 25 means that line number. So you can either go there or you can click here and it will take you there. Now that is where the error is. That is the source of the problem. Now what is the error? That is the second one. Now for this, you need the error code or reason. And you will typically see something like this. Exception in thread main. Why thread main? Thread in the sense anything that is running as a process, Java calls it as thread. So you can have multiple threads also running, like parallel processes and so on. We're working on a single thread. So this is my main thread that is failing. Why is it failing? It is a type of an issue called arithmetic exception. Because if I try and divide a number by 0, it does not know how to print infinite or it cannot be done. That is the problem. So now who is at fault? There comes our third option. Do we know possible cause? Try a solution and retest your code. That's it. There's nothing else you can do. In this case, It's nothing about a human or a coder issue team. It is the value. I have 0, then it'll happen. What if I have 2? Then that's good, maybe. So I'll change the value and run. Now it seems to be working. So you primarily found the root cause of an issue and are able to fix that very quickly. Now integers are holding numbers team. These are without decimals. We have a few more data types. I don't know if they're here, but let me take you quickly to w3schools.com as a good reference point for you to have along with you as you go through learn Java. So out here, there's so many tutorials on Java. We're covering a lot of it, but there may be certain things that we may not go deeper into. And if you need to go deeper into a certain topic, you can start here. So we are on the variables, and let's go to data types here, team. Okay. All right, team. So primarily, um, it is all the type of data and how much memory or it needs to store that information. So you already saw int, you already saw string. Boolean we will cover when we come into statements, which basically will have a true or a false only. Character is any one character which is done by single quote. You cannot have more than a single character in it, like a keyboard character. A float is a floating point number team that can represent to a large number of decimal spaces and so on. We will also touch a little bit about what is primitive data types and non-primitive a little later team when we come to classes and arrays. But primarily all these data types that you have are primitive data types. With these, you have a lot more options that you can do non-primitive and how you treat them. So here it is and the size for each of them and how much value it can store. If I use a byte as a data type, you can store 1 byte, that is minus 128 to 127. Next one is short, twice the size. Twice the size of short is an integer. You can store about 2 billion negative to 2 billion positive. That's 2 billion, correct? Now, when you go to long, you have a humongous range of numbers. So depending on the need that you have and how large a number you need to generate for your own purpose of a program, you can choose that specific data type. For double, it's again takes a lot of data. Float is somewhere in between, sufficient for storing 6 to 7 decimal digits. Okay, when you go very deeper into decimals, you could do this. Then we have character, 2 bytes, boolean, 1 bit. So that's primarily it. Now, why is it 1 bit team? Because in 1 bit you can say 0 or a 1, which is the smallest computer storage, 1 bit. In that, the only two possible values that you can put is a 0 or a 1. So you have two options there. When it comes to 1 byte, so 1 bit is 0 or 1. So you have two options. So when it is 1 byte, it is 8 bits. Okay, B should be lower, but so that means it is 2 to the power of 8. You can store that amount of storage into it. And so on. So it is basically giving you the strength of how much data you can store and where you need. So we typically can stick a lot with integer, don't need to go for long, but when we need decimals, we can use double, boolean, of course, string, character. Okay, those are the only ones, team. It's not at all complicated. Just the fact that regularly we'll use a few, but when the need arises, we know what else is available. All right, where are we now? Ting, ting, ting. How much time do we have? Half an hour more. Let's go through the code. What's this mini project? Let's see this. I'm sorry, having a little dry cough. So what's this team? Now there are a couple of things. This looks like a little longer program. And as you see programs getting bigger and bigger, you should never get alarmed or worried, team. The reason is very simple. Your approach is what is critical for you. Your approach has to be, let me go step by step. If it is a well-written code by a good developer who follow good documentation coding standards, it should be easy to read as well. And once I finish one part of the code, it's almost like reading a book. All right, we can go further. So that's my mini project class name, my main method, start. Now, what is this? This primarily is your bulk comment. Forward slash star and then star forward slash comment multiple lines in Java. So when you want to comment a large set of lines, instead of adding two forward slashes to each line, you could do a forward slash star and ending with star forward slash. So it basically blocks the whole code, comments the whole code there. And Eclipse shows you nicely in a green color this way. You can change these colors and the way you see Eclipse team, but we're using the standard one. Now, what is this? Talk in English in Java, assignment have an age, safe, legal, to vote or not, if age over. So this is where one of the first and most important things come in place, team, where we wanted decision making to happen. My program should automatically, if I give in some information as a data about something or someone, it should be able to tell me what to do next or what it can do. So here assignment is very simple. You have an age and you want to say if it's legal to vote or not. So let us say the age is declared here and we have to say else we have to wait for another year and check. So the program has two options, team, and that is where we call something called as a if block. In a workflow diagram, we use like a rhombus. So age is here. If age is greater than 21, then what I'll do here is yes means we vote. No, if that is the option, then no vote. So this specific workflow where given an age, I'm sorry, I lost audio. Am I back? Can you hear me, everyone? Yes, okay, great, thank you. All right, so now given that age, it should tell me what to do. Now that is one of the most important things that comes into programming, and that is called as condition statements. And one of the simplest ones is if else, and then we also have a while and so on. Basically it tells decision making of the program. So in this case, it will not do both the options. It will only do one of the options. So here I'm writing int vh, and if I say vh equals to 19, I'll say cannot vote. If I change vh equals to 22, can vote. Now this is hard coding. If I run this as is, it will say 19 cannot vote, 22 cannot vote, can vote, hooray, and so it is absolutely not working along with me, team, as to how I want it to do. It should do it in a specific logic. So for this, what we do is we use an if statement. The if statement format is very simple, team. If condition, it is true, then you do certain things here. Else, if that condition is false, then you do certain things here. So this is primarily a true block, okay? And then there is a false block. Let's put it this way. So only one of them will get executed, team. Either true or false. Never both. Never ever the both. So in this case, the way we use the syntax for Java is very simple. If open a condition. Condition basically says it's if things are equal, they're same, it is less than or equal, greater than or equal, and so on, or not equal to. That's a condition. And what is it that you can compare, team? Only quantitative, like numbers or weight or distance or dollars and so on, age in this case. Now what is happening? See, my age is 65. All right. Now, if I put age greater than 21, the first block that starts after the if, see where it starts, automatically 32 is highlighted. I can take this to the next line. This is the true part. If this statement is true, then this will get executed. If the statement is false, else the false part will get executed. So you're giving the options. Now look at it. Age is 65. V age greater than 21. So what do you think 65 greater than 21? Absolutely true. So it should say can vote, hooray. That is what we should expect. Let's see. Very good. Now if I make this as 15, it should say cannot vote, sorry, try next year. But again, next year they'll go and have an issue. But we can say how many years also out here. We can say, okay, try after 6 years. All right. Now let me do the same execution, team, but in a debug mode. To watch how the code runs line by line and be able to understand or fix issues. So when you see issues, we primarily go into debug mode, team. For debug mode, one of the first things is I might have a very long code. So I need to set up something called as a breakpoint. That's like a stop sign. When you reach a stop sign, you come to a full stop, you watch all directions, and then you decide you're going to move forward or wait for pedestrians to walk, or some of the cars are crossing, and then you have to give way. So you have your choice to make then. So right click here and put toggle breakpoint. This breakpoint is nothing like that stop sign. So if I do an execution, it will go on execute everything, team, without breaking, without stop. If I do a regular run, only if I do a debug run, do you see that smaller bug kind of an icon to the left of it? Only when I do a debug run will these breakpoints get affected. When the execution comes to line 28, where my breakpoint is, it will pause at that time and ask me for a question. The question here is to say that switch this perspective. When I say switch perspective, it will show me a different view with a lot of other details to analyze my code and so on. I am not super interested in that, team, this view. One view is okay for now. So let's maintain the Java perspective. I'm going to click this Java here. And there I am. Now in here, team, where am I? I think it's going to take zoom. Yeah, I think we'll cover. So I'm still running the code. See, this is red square. That means that my program is still executing, but it is hit or stuck on line 28. At this point, what I could do is I could continue my execution. What? It stopped. I don't know, something happened. Let's do another time. This time, don't switch the perspective. And I'm here on line 28, and there we go. So we're going to do something called as a step into or step over, team. So what happens when a step over is it steps over blocks and functions. I'll start with step into. It'll go very detailedly. So if I say step into, it'll go one step at a time. Before that, let me take my mouse over VH, and it just basically says that there is nothing onto it right now. I don't think I put any value. I step into it. Line 28 executed, it's on line 29, waiting for that action. Now I take my mouse over vAge, it says vAge equals 15. So I'm able to watch the variable. Now I'm on line 29. So this is the decision making. Either it's got to come to line 30 or it's got to go to line 34. Now let's check. Is 15 greater than 21? No. So it should come down to the else part of it. So it skipped these two, came 34, 35. We're going to print this. So this is the problem, that if I keep doing step into, it'll go deeper into the sprint classes and so on. So I'll just say step over this. Okay, we here. And then step over the sprint statement, step over, we're done. That's the end of it. So why did we put a watch? Just to show what happens when we hit a breakpoint and in the loop. So no, not a loop, sorry, in the if statement. Step over if age. Now let's see where it goes to. This is 35 is greater than 21, so it should go to line 30. So that's it, team. That's our basic analysis of how the execution should happen. All right, so this print stream.class is an inbuilt one. Don't worry, so I'm closing it. Let's look at if statements again. I think for a better understanding, there we go. Two numbers here, integer x and y are declared. X is initialized to 300, y also to 300. Now here are the different comparisons that I could do, team. Okay, the first is x is greater than y, x is less than y, x equals to y. If I use a single equal to for two numbers, it is looking at it as a mathematical equation where it will take the value on the right side and put it to the value on the left. You don't want that, so Java has redone that to using two double equals. And then we have x is less than or equal to y, x is greater than or equal to y, and here x is not equal to y. So here if I say x is equal to y, I can basically print and say not equal, because that is true, and else for this I'll say equal. So there are a few things that will get executed. We'll see what comes out. Equal, there we go. Now I change this and run this, not equal. So our decision making is based on this, team. X is greater, X is not smaller, X and Y are different, not equal. So that's going to be our output. That's a simple if statement. Gets executed once, but it decides which one to do, true or false. Now let's talk about for loop, everyone. I think there is something on if statement too, but let's do this for loop. Now, what is a for loop? How is this different? If statement is a condition, gets executed once for either the true or false part. Now, for loop repeats the same set of code many times. And that is your control. How many times? So the way we write for loop is very simple, team. Sorry. All right, team. So for loop, let's take a look at it. Let us say I want to repeat the same thing over and over. In this case, I want to print a specific character line a few number of times. The way we do it, team, is using this for loop. It has three parts to it. The first is to declare a counter and a starting point. You can also declare it outside, but you should say, where does I start from? And then you should say, where does I end at? Or that counter, whatever you're using, where should that counter end at? And in what steps do we increment? That is what it is. So here we're saying I is starting with 0 and it will go till I is less than 10. And each time I will say I is I plus 1. In the sense, I'm going to increment I by 1 and put it into old I. So it will start with 0, then go to 1, 2, 3, all the way. So that is what it's going to print. Now let's look at what J is doing. J is counting at 10. J is less than 10. J equals to J plus 1. Now here value of J is. Let us see what comes out. So ready to run these. So I got value of I and this character print statement also repeated 10 times because the count is starting with 0. It went till 9. It didn't do till 10 because we didn't say I is less than or equal to 10. In that case, it will do till 10, okay, which is 11. Now, in this second one, why didn't it print anything? We don't, 1 second. Sorry. So here, the looks like I don't have too much to count. I'm starting at 10 and my statement is saying J is less than 10. So how will it go there inside the loop? And for us to better understand this, let's put a breakpoint team on line 7 first and do a debug run. So we're going to hit the perspective no. And I'm here. So step over and you will see that it has gone into the for loop, executing the first one, second one, and then it will come back to the for loop again. And it will continue to do this 11 times. Now let me put a breakpoint on 16. Okay, and I will resume this. So it will hit the next breakpoint. Actually, remove this breakpoint now. Disable and resume. So it will stop at the new breakpoint on line 16. So now on line 16, the condition is different. The value of J, you take your mouse over, it is not yet set. But the first attempt itself, the condition is false. So it will not do it even once. And if I say step over into it, it's coming right out of it. That's the reason it did not. So it all depends on the condition itself, team, for the for loop. When did the class start? Come on, guys. The class starts at 5 p.m. And I've been sending so many communications. You got to be alert, please. All right. Now, let's look at the if statement to weekend, everyone. What is the next one? This is interesting. So I think we're coming up with more of a need and how do we put it into a program to help us with that need. So here we're saying, I want to see if today is weekday or not. We're hard coding the date. We're not getting it from the system date and then figuring it out. So I'm giving it a date. And I want to say if Tuesday is a weekend or not, a Saturday or a Sunday is a weekend or not. So there are two ways to do it, team. And this is not the switch case statement. I don't know if I've used switch case anywhere else. We'll write if that's not there, no problem. So here, the way I'm doing is either I can do individually compare if Monday is weekday or not and so on. I have to put this 7 times, correct? Or like this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, weekend. Now the difference between this code that we're seeing here from line 18 and the one from line 45 to 50 is how we do code optimization using fewer resources and lines of code using. Yes, please, fewer resources and lines of code. And that is where you make it more efficient, faster, and easily reusable because it is easy to read through and understand the logic as well. In here, what we did is we used these two vertical pipe symbols team as a separator of conditions in saying that if it is Monday or if it is Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, then you say weekday. If it is Saturday or Sunday, then you say weekend. I can put it into else also or else if and so on, but that should be enough team. I will write one more for if else if, nested if, and switch case. But this basically is to say that I can put multiple conditions into the same if statements. Next for loop, what is this doing? Let's try and read this code. Looks simple, looks easy, not too much of lines as well. Let's read. Okay, integer I, integer j initialized 22. I can yes print j equals to j plus 1, not incrementing. So okay, incrementing here. So this is an alternate or a shortcut to increment team. So instead of writing a j equals j plus 1, I can always write j plus plus, and that's fine. So this whole statement is replaced by one shorter statement, because a lot of times in programming they see regularly that they need to increment data or variables. So they've short coded this. Now in this for loop, the only difference is I'm using I plus plus instead of I equals I plus 1. And here I'm saying I equals whatever will come. Now, did you see the number of values I'm putting team? 10,000 lines. It should take easily maybe about 15-20 minutes for us to print 10,000 lines of code. So let's run this. Right click, run as Java app. And it wouldn't even take a second team. And that's how fast computing is these days. Your processors, your computer power is very, very significant. So if you have something to feed large sets of data, then programming can really help us in that. All right. So that was very simple on if and for loops team. I just have two things here, multiplication and print a tree. Let's look at that. And then in the next session, we'll go into these classes, oops, and a lot of things there. Okay, anyone? And there are a couple of things that audience also wanted to show. I want to come to you. All right. So what is this multiplication table? So this is my requirement team, and this is how I'm trying to come up with a set of requirement in an English logic that I write down first, and then get to writing the code team. Please always do that. So your clarity of what you need and how we can build that solution step by step will fall into place. Now I have a given number. I want to print multiples till 20 times of that number. Expected output is 12 into 1, 12 into 2, 12 times 20 to 40. So if I give a specific number, it should be able to print that. Now, what is this B number, B times? Okay. XAOP. I don't know what is XOP in this, but just a naming convention that I've used, saying that this is for number and this is the number of times. XOP is not used anywhere, and hence it has this warning saying that you've not used the variable. Next, we have a for loop. Int I equals 1, I is less than or equal to b times, which is 40. So 1 to 40, 40 times I plus plus. What am I printing here? Look at this logic team. So the whole code logic is coming there. Why? Because the format in which it has to be printed is the b number star has to come as is the value of I equal to and then the output of it. So that is what I have to print. So I put that as b number, concatenate that with a space star space, and then concatenate that with a value of I, and then you again concatenate that with a space equal to space, and finally the result, which is concatenated b number star I. Now gave this in bracket so that these two numbers, which is this is a number and this is a number, I use a star on it, it gets multiplied. Gets multiplied and then the brackets, so it gets concatenated. So these are all will be concatenated at the end of it into one super string. Now let's try and run this. So that's the multiplication table of 324 to 40 times. So right from 324 times 1, 2, 3, and so on. And you could change this number in whatever fashion you want. And 55, I want to run 20 times. So with just a couple of changes, your entire output of the program is coming different. So the capability of the same program to handle various scenarios is an awesome feature that programming gives us, team. All right. Similarly, we did something called printing a tree. Now the requirement is to print something that output will come like this. I don't know how many of you have tried it, but if not, please try this and show me. Now, this is how you can print it. It is like almost hard coding it. There is no logic used in it. You may want to use logic for it. Give me a second, team. And please, team, who have questions, raise your hand. Sorry, okay. I've got a couple of hands raised. Let me handle some queries, team, and I'll come back to, we'll continue the other topics on Monday. I think maybe another class and a half, we should be able to finish these, or 2 sessions. Sujata, I'm making you the presenter. And while you share the screen, Jyoti, Aarti, Neha, you're unmuted.
So Karthik, I'm trying to share my screen with the
Yes.
with the sample Java code that you have walked us through in the previous class. So kind of unable to figure out this red error mark. So I would need your help to ensure that everything is installed as is instructed in the
Yeah, I'm
class.
looking at it. So hold on, Sujata. Let's see. What's the issue here? Why does it say there's a problem in the project? What is it? The method println string is undefined. Did you put the right statement? Is it
Yeah,
supposed to be?
system dot out dot println. That's what you said, right? I mean,
Yes. I'm not. The font is very small for me.
oh, do you
System.
want me to increase the font?
No, I don't want you to. Why didn't you create one more, add one more Java program right now? Write a fresh one. I want to see what is happening. It is the way I think the project is set up. You may have to create a new project. Let's add a new. Don't go there. Right click on your
Yeah,
project.
Okay.
audio source there. Yeah, now you can do it here. Class.
Or should I say class? I'm sorry.
Yes, please. Team, these are the very important ones that seem tough at the beginning, but it'll be easy later. Yeah. And then say public checkbox that. Say finish. All right. Right.
And
So
I'm sorry.
go to line 6. Tab. Okay. Right. You did one extra tab. Delete once. Backspace. Yeah. There you go. Say so. SYSO. Control. Keep control pressed and then space bar. Enter. Write something in that. Okay. Run it. Okay.
Should I say okay for
Yes,
the way
please.
it displayed? Or should
Yes.
we only select demo?
That is fine, Sujata. You can say okay because it will only run this one right now. And proceed, please. That's fine because something is wrong with Java prog 1. Now, so this is working. So delete your Java prog1.java. I don't know what's wrong with it.
So you mean the demo QA you're referencing to that?
I did not say demo QA word at all. I
I'm so
said
sorry.
Java
When you said block
prog1.
one, so it kind of trying to understand the terminology yet. Okay.
I'm saying
Sorry
no
about
problem. I'm saying Java
it. Oh,
prog1.java.
okay.
You named it. Yeah, just
My
delete it.
bad.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Delete.
Yes. So sometimes, it could be a corrupted script we got from somewhere. The
Uh-huh.
characters also could be an issue sometimes. And hence I create a new code. If
Sure,
this did
thank you.
not
And I have a
work,
one question, Karthik, if I may re-clarify that.
mhm,
Because to begin with, you said you advised me to tap on 2 times on the tab. So is that the something with the syntax or or SysO takes it in that way? Would you mind clarifying that for me, please?
which one, where did I tap
You
twice?
said press 2 times tab when we write when we
Oh,
wrote
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
command
yes,
system.
yes. Very good question, Sujata. So that's more of a coding practice.
Okay,
Java does not mandate it, but for our way of writing the code, we maintain that as a best practice.
okay.
When
Thank
you
you.
get
Because I was kind of nervous because the first one was kind of erroring out, so I didn't have the
to,
chance to begin with the
no,
rest too because
no problem.
my
It was not
mom might.
synced with that. But in Python, if you go,
Yeah.
these tabs matter a lot. In
Okay.
Java, it does not matter, but we use it more for a styling and best practice.
Sure. So, and also another question leading to today's session. How do
Mhm.
we kind of access the code that you've written on going over various loop commands or if commands? Because
For
everything is
now, I
shared
want you to look at the video and please rewrite this code. Once I
or
finish
rewrite
with
the
this,
code. Okay,
yes, I want you to write the code, please. So if I
not a
share this
problem.
code, we may not get a chance. Within the next 2-3 sessions, I'll share the entire folder.
What in case if we are getting errors like it? Right now, you were able to guide and troubleshoot us, but with the
Hmm.
exercises that we're going to redo it based on
So we
the
will work
class
together.
today.
We will work
Okay.
together on them.
Thank you so much, Karthik. I think I'm good.
Very good. Thank you, Sujata.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, please. Who
Hi,
else?
Karthik.
Hmm.
This is Jyoti.
Uh,
I think I don't know why I have this problem every time I
you
install
want to
new
show your
version of.
screen or something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What is it you're saying? Install. It looks like a long process.
The
What was that?
Eclipse, the
Hmm.
Eclipse. So I created the project. I have the same issue as I think Sujata. Like I
Hmm.
have the project itself. It says it's error. So I'm not able to go forward. Where can I? Can you give me control so that I can share my screen?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Aarti, Neha, what is your question, please? You want to speak your question? Alemu?
This is Aarti Karthik.
Yeah, Aarti.
Just wanted to show that I had installed and the code is running. And the other thing is, in the Selenium IDE, one thing didn't work. I wanted to ask.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Aarti.
Okay.
Hi, Karthik. This is Neha. I just wanted to show the code that I worked on, and
Okay, Neha.
yeah, and just to add on, I think Sujata, did she write print ln or in just to
Oh,
make
nice
sure?
question. That's a
Yeah,
good
because
question.
you
We
know that
deleted
could,
that. She'll
yeah, I
find it
know.
in the recycle bin and maybe she should try.
No, that's
And
okay,
that,
but it looks like to me that's it's in instead of ln, because in that it does show, like even I was having trouble with that, so I kind of figured that out. So just wanted to share.
sure, thank you. I appreciate it. Could be that capital lower L and a capital I. All right. Thank you. Yes, Jyoti.
Okay, so if you see my project when I created, it gives the errors at the beginning only, and
I don't know what this error is.
yeah,
Create another
honestly,
project for me.
say that again.
Create another project, please. A new project.
Okay. Mm. So maybe I'll say Java 1, 2, 3. So I just want to ask you in this question, in this
Mm-hmm.
screen,
Mm-hmm.
so you can
Can I
see
have
that.
everyone else on mute, please?
So I know that I have observed that, like, use this this one especially.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Java runtime environment 13 or something, but it went to JRE. I
The
don't know why.
issue is that if we have too many installations and version options, then this is the problem. So stay with the default. In the drop down of Java Standard Edition 14, Java SC 14, just click the
Uh-huh.
drop down. So that's almost the latest one that's there, Java Standard Edition. So keep that and
Okay.
say finish.
Okay.
Don't
Don't.
create.
So the right away it gets created, but it.
Yeah, maybe your Eclipse is corrupted, Java, I don't know. So start from the beginning,
Uh-huh.
install the JDK again. This
Uh-huh.
time when you're installing Eclipse, point to it. Create a new Java project, check a new different JRE, please. Create
I
again.
think the what do you mean? The new.
Create a new Java project again.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem. Here, let's specifically choose the JRE, second
This one.
option. And drop downs, only
Yeah.
one. So that's the
Mm,
default one. Give it and try
okay.
now. So why does it say click on config? Okay.
Actually, I
Okay.
tried doing that.
All right. Finish.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a straight solution for you. I don't know why it's happening. I've seen this happening a lot of times. And the only suggestion is please do another fresh clean install of JDK and Eclipse.
Okay. Okay. I
From
mean,
beginning.
okay. But what if I get stuck? I know last time also I had so much trouble. Is there any
Then
way
take
you
a
can?
different machine, please. I don't know why it's happening for you.
Okay. Okay.
Uninstall the complete Java, JDK from your system, Eclipse, uninstall everything, reinstall
Mm,
JDK, reinstall Eclipse.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Who's going next, please?
This is Neha. Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it quick time today. All right. So team, we have few more minutes to do today. Yes, please, Neha.
Yeah, this is the test cases
Mhm.
that I wrote. We did work on it for the Selenium IDE. So do you want me to explain, or is it good to see since others are
Well,
also waiting?
no, it's a good template. well maintained. I like your coloring, and I like the way, you know, it is aligned. Very nice. So
Yeah.
these are
I just have one question, Karthik. Since
uh,
writing every time the test case, do I need to show that I'm opening the browser and going to the go to AUT, or can we skip that, or do we have to mention that with every new test
uh,
case?
no, not necessarily. You can just say launch application on
Okay.
Chrome. That can be
Okay.
one step.
Okay, there's one issue that I was facing on Selenium
Mhm,
IDE.
mhm.
While doing on this line 26, it
Okay.
was not verifying the whole thing because there was a space originally here. And
Uh,
when I was doing it, it wasn't giving me the whole thing with this XPath.
so the
Whereas,
expected and actual have a
yeah,
little difference.
difference. Whereas if I take this XPath with the /p after it, it's just showing me
Mm.
this much. Oops, please fix the following. Whereas it doesn't show the password is too short.
So
So I
see,
don't know.
and the only reason is, and please show me this once again when we get back to Selenium.
Sure.
Um, so the row 26, when you're saying ID new user div1,
Yeah.
that is the parent element. Under that, there could be two things. One that
Okay.
contains, oops, please fix the following as a para. The P is for para there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the password is too short. Minimum is 6 characters, or it could be some other incorrect password combination message, and so on.
All
Right?
right. All right.
So your XPath is correct, but
Okay.
how the text is getting identified. Now tell me one thing on line
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
What is the actual text you're getting from the application?
I'm getting error. It's not
No, which
verifying
column?
the
Column
text.
C or column G?
Uh, it- it's not showing me there on the Selenium IDE. It's
It should
showing,
show,
it's
na?
not
It
very,
should say actual text and expected text.
okay.
In the log, it will show
Okay.
you. Selenium IDE, when you're running it, you have the log. So
Um,
you should set it accordingly. Do you have it open, Chrome
um,
IDE?
I have to open it.
Okay, nice. Nice.
This is the
Okay, good. Let's
one.
run this
I
test
can,
case.
yeah. This is the recorded one. This one I
Run
put.
the test case, please. Whichever
Okay,
it is, whichever is the correct one, just run it.
sure.
So we will set the test data to be according to what the application is giving us.
Time.
Trying to find link text sign up. Did the page load? Just see the browser once.
I
Just
think
run it once and let me know, please. I'll come back to you.
I just wanted to show you one more thing that I made these.
Mhm,
Then I'll run it again and then I'll let you know. Um, this I did it for the one
mhm,
that you told us, and I made it out of Google. So I just
mhm.
wanted to run and show you this one.
Okay.
That's the
Nice.
one I did with the Google, and the
You can just drag it. Yeah.
Mm. I think it's
Just
empty.
double click on it. I think it'll go. No, double click again.
Oh, it's
Just
showing
close
two
it and you
screens.
can open it. That's fine. You can close that itlearn1.java.
Okay. Mm.
Then you can open it again.
Then with the right click, open. Yeah, here it is.
So what's your other
I
point,
just
please?
Yeah.
Is it the same test?
Yeah, that's what the same test that you, but I kind of did
Different one.
the Google, the demo project one for my own, and this was the one.
Very nice. Good. And it's,
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
just run the,
that's, I saw it.
yeah,
That's good.
please. Okay.
So,
I'll just
and that's
play the
important to be
Selenium.
the, go ahead,
I'm
Jyoti.
sorry.
Go ahead, Jyoti. Sorry, who was that? Neha, right? Neha, please
Yes,
go ahead.
yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry for interrupting. I just said that I'll do the Selenium ID and then I'll let you know what is it.
Yes, it seems to have given up there. Page did not load or something. Just end that run and redo it.
Okay.
All right. I
Thank
have
you.
3 more people. Aarti, then Sachin and Alim.
Hi, Karthik.
Hello, Aarti.
Um, this is the. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just wrote the basic code where I went to go.itlearn.com and got the title. I'm just running it. So it basically got the title and just printed end of test.
Very nice.
And in the Selenium IDE, I have a doubt. I did the same thing. Login in goitlearn.com. No, sorry, not this one. One sec. Which test was it? Oh, this one. 2 minutes. Can I run this? There
Yes,
is an
please.
issue in this. Oh, sorry, I'm running the wrong thing, I think. Oh, no, it's correct. Okay.
Where is the browser?
Oh, sometimes
Can
it
you
shows
resize the Selenium IDE, please? I don't want a full screen of Selenium IDE.
Oh, okay.
Reduce the width of it.
Oh, I'm not able to reduce the width of it, but
You can. Just try and find the corner and drag it. No. You're in a maximum size now.
okay.
Please go slow, go slow. Where is that open and where is the project?
I will open it.
Now go come to the left, get your mouse to the left. All the way to the left.
Okay.
Where's your mouse? I can't see your mouse.
Here.
Okay, now you can resize. No, all the way to the left. Now you resize.
Oh, okay.
Resize. There you go. So now run, please, and show me what is it doing.
I actually this is supposed to be itlearn.com, but for some reasons it is showing Facebook once ago.
So
Yeah,
just change it to go.itlearn.
I
It's
did.
fine. Yeah.
I just went to log in and typed for some reason everything shows that it works, but it is not typing the password at all.
How do you know it's not typing the password?
I checked when it was the other times I checked that it entered the email address, but it didn't enter the password at all.
Do me a favor. Comment line 10 or step 10 and do it again.
Okay.
So if we are assuming that it did not enter, we should put till there. Yeah, it did not enter. You're right.
Oh, I have commented this ID first.
Correct.
1 second.
And use type for this.
1 second.
Maybe.
Let me do one more time. No, type.
Okay, try that, please,
Yeah, yeah.
and let me know.
No, the thing was, it was entering the email ID, but it wasn't entering. It's still working.
No, there's a debugger. You have paused there. You have to resume it.
Oh, I should remove the pause?
Can you see that message paused in debugger with a yellow banner on top?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we have to be very visible to us, team. We are working with the tool, right? It will give us alerts. So it is paused. So click on that play icon now. There you go.
See, Karthik, it is entering the email address for some.
I see it. Aarti, hold on. I see it. Now we see that. I don't know why it is doing it, but can you try and change this? Go to step 9.
Okay.
Change it to type instead of send keys. And I don't know why it didn't take that. And XPath equals, so XPath worked, everything worked. Rerun it now and remove that breakpoint on line 7 if you don't need it. Now that should be good. It's still not showing. Maybe it's an application related. I will try. Anyone else saw the same thing happening?
For other people, it worked, Karthik. The other day, they did it. For everybody, it came.
It did, is it?
I
Okay. Not sure why it is
Karthik,
not.
Karthik, if I can say something, she didn't put ID user as password where it's written. Okay, it's on line 9. Okay.
But she's using some other XPath and it didn't fail. So, and hold on 1 second. Now I got it. I think we're looking at a label at first equals user underscore password. Do you see that icon to the left of, to the right of it? Target, go to the target, go to the right of it,
Okay.
select target in page, click on that. It is actually selecting it, but I don't think it is correct. Right click on password here, the field, yeah, inspect. So you have ID equals user underscore password.
Yes.
We should take that. You took the label from above. Do you see the label from above in the code?
Label from above.
Yeah, okay, input. This is input, right?
Oh,
Above
yes.
one line is div class control. Above that is label class per user underscore password.
Oh,
You are
okay.
trying to type it into a label field and not a input field.
Oh, that's a big mistake. Yeah. If I put input, it should come.
It's so say just name equals
Oh, okay. Let me say name it.
or ID equals. There's both. You don't have to say XPath equals. Uh, did you see it? I can't see it on the left side. Is that the correct one?
Yes.
Show me the
Oh,
code.
let me, I copy pasted.
Ah, very good. You copy paste. Okay. Now try to, okay, close the code. Double click on this. Why we are doing so many mouse operations? Can we do only a few?
Oh, suddenly I have to resize it again.
Okay, so just double click on the window.
Okay.
There you go. Now click on the browser,
Okay.
close the code. Okay, now go to your Selenium IDE, go to your target user underscore password
Okay.
and say select target in page. Yes, please.
So every time should we select it, Karthik?
When we have an issue, we want to verify what is correct and not, we will use this option also.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what it was there.
Yeah, not every time. When we having issue, of course, that's helping us. Did you click on it for me?
Yes, I did, but it's not selecting. I did click.
Okay. Can you remove those spaces after ID and equal to? I don't know if it affects, but just didn't want to use a different format. And now, okay, there you go. So now it's identifying it. That's good. Now rerun your test, please.
Yes,
Good,
sir.
right. Who answered this? Nia, was that you?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Karthik, that was me.
Thank you, Neha.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's okay.
Thank you. There is an issue with Selenium IDE, but Catalan recorder works well. Okay, nice. So this is good. All right. Good
Thank
one.
you.
Good progress. See. Okay. Alamu, you going? Sorry, team, such a long session for a Friday. Alamu? Atik, can I have you back on mute, please? Thank you. I made you presenter, Alamu, and you are self-muted. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
now I can hear you.
Yeah, I tried both Firefox and Chrome. Firefox
Nice.
goes without problem, but Chrome driver is not working.
Oh, what version of Chrome?
I think it's 86.
Just check once, please. Go to Chrome browser.
Mhm.
Click on those three dots on the right. Help. About.
Yeah, 87.
Now I don't know which version you have. Can you please put an 87, download the Chrome driver 87 and try it, please? Just a Chrome driver download.
Okay. Mm,
Chrome driver download. Okay. And the first one you gotta take. Maybe you took 87. 86, 87 you should take.
Yeah. It's okay there.
So let's save this, unzip it, and let's point it to this.
Mm.
Copy it, do a Control
Yeah.
C, and go to the folder where you save the others. Users Alamu desktop Selenium IT Learn 2020 driver. So it's on the desktop.
Yeah.
Put it in the desktop, please,
Mhm.
in that folder. Go open to the desktop. Don't copy this again. You already copied the Chrome driver.exe, right?
Yeah, I'm not copying this. Yeah.
Oh, it's here. I see. Nice, very nice. Okay. I hope this is the right path. And let's try now. Firefox is working fine for you?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it says
Yeah.
driver executable does not exist in that path.
I didn't know it.
We should say Chrome driver dot. What is that? Show me that, please.
This Apple,
Go
it
to the
doesn't need
file.
X.
Go to that file folder.
Where I put the CAM driver.
Where you put the Chrome driver, exactly.
Here, my application. Here.
I want the, expand. Okay. Can you please put it into some better drive folder? Show me where you're putting it. Okay.
Yes, here.
Are you sure this is where you put it, the latest one?
Yeah.
Can you unzip once again?
Let me remove this.
Yes, please remove it. I don't know if you have the latest or not.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Is this the latest one, Chrome driver?
Yeah.
Are we supposed to give any extension?
No, for Apple we don't.
Yeah, nothing, right? DMG or anything?
No. Here, the same thing here. This one is with Firefox.
Yeah, okay. So
I commented out the Chrome here.
it's not able to pick the path. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Wait, no, this is Firefox, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to Chrome.
Chrome.
Why do you have LMU twice?
That's another.
You cannot make such ones, please.
Is an
That's why I
error.
asked. No, then you should copy it right from there. That's why I said go to the file path and copy the entire path correctly. Don't edit in the code.
Okay.
Get me this path. Copy. What was that?
I
Okay.
copied it. You see, this is the whole complete path.
Okay. Now try, please.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Cannot be verified. Mac,
No,
it
this
wants
one,
you to verify.
no, that's fine. I can.
Can you maximize this Eclipse for me? I want to keep an eye on the console. What did you click on?
Open.
No, why are we saying okay? Did it? I think open. See, didn't it open?
It opened it, but error. It didn't get it.
No. That's fine. What are those two things besides your Eclipse? There's Chrome. What are those?
Where? Which one?
On your
Here?
taskbar, beside the Eclipse icon on the right side to Eclipse icon, on your
Okay.
taskbar. What are those? Right to it.
These are Chrome.
Who? I mean, these are your browsers or Open Web
Yeah.
driver?
No, my browsers.
How do
That's
you
Google.
know?
That's Google.
Okay. What about the second one? They're all the same?
The same. This one is the open one.
I don't know. It's a little confusing because it would open it. And I don't know what the error is. It is primarily asking your permission. Did you
Yeah,
log in as an admin and run it?
that it does most of the time. Any other application, if it didn't take it, I have to go approve on
Yeah.
private.
So why is it not letting you?
Yeah, I tried.
Not sure. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yes, Rohini? I unmuted you.
Hello, Karthik.
Yes.
I think Alimu didn't give the .exe extension.
For Macs, there's no .exe in general also, and they don't require it.
Okay.
Even by Gecko driver, the Firefox on line 20, if you see, it works without that extension. But in this case, it found it. Okay. Chrome failed to start, was killed. There's a different problem here. Unknown error. DevTools are active port file doesn't exist. The process started from Chrome location so and so. Chrome is no longer running, so Chrome is okay. So was started successfully and then unknown error. WebDriver
Yeah,
exception.
maybe I have to search again. I have to find. I might leave Google it. Maybe somebody
Yeah,
has the
just
same.
search please once. Let me know.
Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, I have the other question I have for you is
Mhm.
now we are taking this class. If I want
Mhm.
to continue on the project, do you have anything to I can work if I want to continue, like
Yes.
right?
I mean, the JPAC project activities and so on will start in about a week or so. We still need to do some basic preparations getting there. Then we
Yeah.
should be able to contribute.
Once it starts, what I mean is I just want to go the project.
I don't know the timing yet. That is the
Oh,
challenge. If
okay.
I want to do it in the US morning or US evening is a question. So I have to check on that.
So in the meantime, I'm just going to pick any like Salesforce and do the
Sure.
Maven framework and the test energy framework together. I want to do it, so I can show you.
Okay, very good. Sure, absolutely. Would like to see.
Okay,
All right. That'll be interesting. Thanks,
thanks.
Alamu.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. I hope we could. So please, team, look at what we did today, practice. I will share the code after Monday or Tuesday's session. Then you'll have the code as well. But just try and put your hands on and write some of these, what we did today. Take care. I'll see you all on Monday. Bye now. Bye all.